Hi everyone, welcome back to the Academy of God. And in the second part, this is the second part of the videos concerning revelations that I received from God about black people. And in this second one, I want to dive deeper in the part where I talk about the Israelites, the ancient Hebrew people. Now, I want to this journey of mine started with um, a question that I had because I started to see it started a couple of years in the past, and I basically came across videos talking about or claiming that Jesus was black. And contrary to what most people will do, they just who just come across information and they that contradict your current belief, so you just push it off, you just ignore it. I didn't completely reject that idea. Instead, I went and I asked God, and I did that because in the starting years of my relationship with God, I used to have the same questioning about whether Trinity was true or not, because I had people who believed that God, there was only Jesus, and others who believed we had the Holy Spirit, the Father, and Jesus. And I did the same thing. I went and I asked God, and He started to give me a personal experiences of the Holy Spirit, where I met the Holy Spirit for the first time. I met Jesus also, and then I met the Father. And that's how I came to the conclusion that God was truly three persons in one. So I did the same thing with this information. I went and I asked God, because I don't just reject information that contradicts my belief, because that's how God teaches you. That's how He brings you into new things. He first makes you come across information that are opposing to the ideas that you are currently holding, and it's only by questioning them and then asking God to reveal you the truth. That's how we learn and grow in truth. We go from deception to truth, because the deceived person is convinced that what he believes is true. People who are deceived are convinced that whatever they believe is true. So this is where humility comes in, that we are willing to challenge our current beliefs. So I did that, and I went and I asked God, which color is Jesus? I was interested into knowing which color was Jesus when he walked on earth, because when Jesus usually appeared to me, he looks like the typical representation we have of him in movies, because it's just an appearance that he takes upon himself to manifest himself to people. So he may come to one person looking Asian, to another person he may come looking Caucasian, to another one he may come looking old, to another one he may come looking young. Like for me, he used to come in the form of a baby, then in the form of a child, like Jesus child version. Then he started to come to me in his adult version, and he would look like the guy you see on the movies about the Passion of Christ. So he would look like your normal white man with curly hair and all. And But then I was asking him how he looked on earth, and he gave me this experience where he showed me a black person, and then gave me the understanding that this is how he looked. And the black person he showed me was your typical Afri like black looking person, but with what looks like dreadlocks on his hair. And this is what he showed me: a black person with kind of dreadlocks on his head. And I believe the dreadlocks comes from the fact that he was a Nazarene, because apparently Nazarene people, they used to like style their hair, or so they used to braid their hair. And this is what I saw from as what the Lord showed me that he looked like on earth when he walked. And even though he showed me that appearance, uh, later on when continued to appear to me, he will always look like what I'm used to see him as, the movie version of Jesus. Either that, or he will appear in the light with his face shining and all these things. Essentially saying that to people who may think to themselves, oh, well, how can Jesus be black? He appears to me like a white man. Well, yes, that's how he appears to you. To other people, he appears to them looking black. To other people, he appears to them looking Asians. Why? Because he wants people to identify themselves to him. He wants people to feel included when they look at him. So he will come in the appearance that they are more open to receive him. If they are more open to receive a Caucasian looking Jesus, that's how he'll come. If for them they are convinced that Jesus is Asian looking or Korean looking, he revealed themselves looking like a typical Asian man. But they will have a conviction in their spirit that it is Jesus. But how he looked on earth, he was black. So this is how that experience started. And a lot of people will think to themselves, well, what does it matter which skin color Jesus had? Well, it matters a lot, because if Jesus was black, then it means that the people who are living in Israel today aren't Israelites, they aren't Israel. It also means that the understanding that people have about prophecy is wrong, because a lot of prophecies that people have about is about concerns Israel. And this is something that I've been saying a lot in this channel, about the fact that people have to be able and willing to go and ask God to reevaluate the things that they believe in, to check whether their belief system is right or wrong, and ask God to essentially show them the truth, whether it offends them, whether they agree with it or not. Because when you believe in the wrong things, well, it leads you to believe into more of the wrong things. And this is what happens in the church. That's why we have these rapture prophecies and all, and still people are waiting for the raptures, which is not happening, because the way they interpret the revelations they receive from God, they base it on a view of the world which is not true. And this is what happened, because if Jesus was black, it means that a lot of things in history has been changed. It means that a lot of things that we consider today to be true was not. Now, this was part 2 of this series.